Alrighty, so we're moving on to the Fender Telecaster, and this is a very interesting guitar for me. I hope the GoPro doesn't fall down again. It's suction cupped onto the desk there, but Fender Telecaster. So as I previously mentioned, I've been playing guitar since about the 4th grade, so 20-ish years. That's crazy. And I've never liked Telecasters. There's never been anything, I've never seen a Telecaster be like, oh, like that's a cool guitar, I want one. I've never in my career, in my music playing experience, liked Telecasters. I had the Stratocaster, I like the Les Paul style. I love the SG, always wanted an SG. I liked my Schecter because it was mean looking. So I had a tendency, and I guess I still do have a tendency, to base my guitar purchases off of how they look. Obviously, they got to be pretty in some fashion. Sorry, that phone's messing with the speakers here. But the Telecaster, never liked them, and now I own one, and it's an excellent question. Why? Yeah, I can't even answer that. I was in the guitar shop, and I was thinking I wanted to buy a new guitar, as I've recently gotten back into it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get a new guitar, spark the the interest in it again, something to aid the SG. And I got to playing around, and my theory on buying a new guitar was I have the SG, which can be used for a heavier sound, so I wanted something completely different. And I was looking at the PRS SE. They had one of those there, a semi-hollow. And I said, I know a Telecaster with the lipstick and the single coil is way different than an SG. And I picked it up. I picked this exact one up. I looked around. They had a ton in the shop. They had white, black, sunburst, whatever the other one's called, butterscotch blonde. Yeah, this one, I picked this one up, and like, it's a heavy guitar, first off. And I plugged it in and I played it, and I was like, holy cow. The thing that really struck me about this guitar is the difference in the tone from the bridge to the middle to the neck. Whereas on the SG, it seems to me that the neck pickup and the middle position are just so muddy, and it could be attributed to my the pickup height and all that stuff. So that guitar should go in for a setup, but it wasn't a huge difference. It just got kind of muddier sounding. Whereas on this guitar, with a little bit less volume. And another thing, the SG a little bit, but the sensitivity on the volume here on this guitar, slightly out of tune, sorry. It's crazy. I know this is pretty standard guitar stuff. It's just, I've been with that guitar for so long as my only electric that picking this thing up was crazy. So immediately I got into all the tones and changing the pickup selection and even the tone knob, all that stuff. And it's very simple. They got 3 selections, 1 volume, 1 tone. Whereas on that thing, you've got 3 selections, 2 volume, 2 tone. And some guitars you have 5 selections, all that stuff. It's very extremely simple, and it's probably helping me out as someone that's not that savvy with this stuff of like, oh, I got 3 things to mess with. And it's like, oh, I can change my tone pretty easily. So it might just be playing to me. But this guitar has not been set up yet. They did offer me a free setup about 3 months after purchase. He said, bring it in whenever, but he's like, wait about 3 months, get everything kind of settled in from your playing. So it hasn't been set up, but it plays. Plays good to me. I like it. I did change the strings. It is running 10s. Action could be a little bit lower. I did adjust the intonation a little bit, but it plays good, and I love the feel that this guitar has. And since owning it, I can't stop looking at it. I think this thing is absolutely beautiful. I guess I needed a Telecaster in my life, but the funny thing about this guitar is I'm actually using it to play some pretty heavy stuff, and I was shocked. Absolutely shocked, using Amplitude on the same settings. I got a couple custom setups going here. I was shocked at how good it sounded, and it sounds better to me through the monitors and everything than the SG. You know, same amp settings, same kind of song style. This thing sounds damn good. Let me tune it up real quick. I'm battling hitting the desk over here, and also I'm just not that good a player, so. So obviously that's just running through the monitors. It doesn't sound great. I'm just doing a little sample. We'll do some more in-depth tone where I record into the computer, but that's it. That's the 2022 Telecaster. This is my favorite guitar. There's something about it, I don't know. I always just opt, and I love that SG too. I always opt to pick this thing up. It's extremely versatile. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know, man. This is my favorite by far. I freaking love this thing so much. It's grown on me. I mean, I walked in the store. It's one of those things, you know, you walk into the guitar store, you see something, you kind of pick it up. And usually in my experience, it turns out being the first or second guitar you pick up is the one you buy. I went between this and the PRS for a while, and I couldn't not. I did play all the other Telecasters they had. Well, not all of them, but a handful of the other ones. And, you know, there's some quality issues. Obviously, the notorious pickup selector cap fell off on some of them. And just, you know, some loose hardware. This one felt the best. And that's interesting because it is the first one I picked up. But yeah, that is the 2022 Fender Telecaster.